ready to hear those words, Akeem Harris, you are an Iron Man. Somebody was like, yo, Akeem, Orange Theory. I was so delirious. I didn't know who it was. I was just like, I didn't know what was going on. Just get me home. And then, I heard the thing like, Akeem, you are. It was a great feeling. So in that moment, I salute everybody who does the real cheering and jumping up and down. I felt
Right.
the way emotionally, but physically that was not going to happen. I wanted my car in the bed. Like, that's the only thing that I wanted. Like let's wrap it up. Give me the thing is my medal. I get another medal. Where's my finish tee? Got to take this mile back, walk to the transition, get my bike. Let's go. That's the way that I was like. I was just like, I want to go home.
This is the Rolling with Tay podcast. I'm your host, Tasia, aka Tay, and this is episode 30. And my guest today is Akeem, and he is an endurance athlete. And what's really cool, he's a Lego builder. And we met on Facebook. This is my first time seeing him in person. So we are going to have a conversation about endurance, sports and training and Lego building as an adult. So let's get right into it. Thank you again for being a guest on my podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've been chatting back and forth about mainly Legos.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, like the endurance athletes, the side quest compared to the Lego.
And I can remember you telling me after maybe my third build, I was like, you know what, I'm done. And you're like, yeah, right. You're not done. That's what everybody says. I
Yeah.
was like, no, I'm done. I'm not gonna buy any. There's no more sets. And I just ordered my most expensive set yet.
Yeah, I started small and ended up really big. I don't know how I got there because it was like the first little set that I had gotten was like the little saying the Speed Champions. So the Speed Champions like Porsche 911 because it's like that's my like all time favorite car. Then I was like, that's it, I'm done. And I was like, oh, nope, there's more, there's bigger. And now I'm on like the 3,000 piece Lego Technic sets. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm to the point where I said like, I can't buy anymore because I had literally probably had like a warehouse full of them that I haven't even touched yet. But triathlons took over my life, so I said they're sitting in the shelf. I can't get any more because I don't have any more space to fit them.
Right. And you said you have a closet full
I,
of,
I have
of
Yeah, I have a few. Like I think the last ones I have the pyramids, the Concorde, and the space shuttle. And my toxic trait is buying the set and not realizing how big they actually are. Because like I bought the Concorde and then something was like, let me check the reviews on it, and the reviews said, oh, it's 2 feet long. I was like, I don't know where I'm gonna fit a 2 foot Lego set. So we'll figure it out when it happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm running into now. Space. Like, where am I going to put this? I would like to get the pyramids, but I'm like, where am I going to put it?
It's nice and still in the box, but
Wow,
it's
nice,
like, yeah. Let's say in the space shuttle.
nice.
And the pyramids are in the corner, but I'm not trying to lose my life on camera trying to pull it out.
Trying to go. Okay, yep. Oh, man. All right, we'll discuss that a little later. So let's get into it. Do you consider yourself an endurance athlete?
I felt like I've done endurance athlete things, but for some reason I still don't consider myself an endurance athlete. It's really weird as far as perspective because I know that there are a segment of people who won't ever like get to like the length and the distances of the races that I do. But then sometimes I look in my immediate circle and it was like I was one of the last few people to do a full Ironman. So it's kind of like on one side I look at it where it's like, people are like, you're absolutely crazy. Then the other side I'm looking at people who've done like 10, 15, or like, or anything like that, or my coach, has done like a sub 10 for Ironman. I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I'm not quite there yet, but it's kind of a weird kind of dynamic in my head. It's like I know I do the things and I'm thankful that I was able to do them, but it took me a while to consider myself a triathlete too, and that was weird after I'd done them. So I'm still trying to like grasp it all.
Yeah, I can understand that. When people talk about running, I'm like, I'm not really a runner, but I've run. I've done a 5K. I've done a 10K. I have to run for my duathlons, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like people are like, "You're a runner." I'm like, I guess I don't know. I guess you would consider, yeah, me a runner. I don't know, but I can totally understand that. So, how did you get into this world?
Gotcha. I remember I had it was like just out of college, like before like growing up, uh, my dad, may he rest in peace, put me into swimming. So I started
Mm,
out as a swimmer, and I had no wants to run or even like bike past, like me and my friends, like this was an old school so-called chips. We pretend like we were the chips police officers and riding around the block. That was the like amount of riding a bike that I wanted to do. And there was something happened where getting to a YMCA or a pool wasn't easy for me. So one of my friends was a runner, so I said, I guess I'll finally, be reluctant to jump into the world of running. So I started with the 5K, and of course I said every last word that don't make any sense of I'm doing the 5K and that's it. So I was like, okay, here's the 5K, here's the 10K, half marathon, and I eventually did full marathon. I did Chicago like a couple of times, and like most recently I did Shamrock and Virginia Beach, and then I guess we can count the marathon at the end of Ironman, but I consider the part of the race not its own separate,
yeah, right.
its own separate marathon. But after the second marathon, it was kind of like, you know what? I'm tired of running. I really don't like running anymore. And what would be a great idea? Triathlons, right? I still don't know how I made the segue from tired of running to adding two more things on top of running and everything like that. I had a former Orange Theory coach, and it was my first try coach, Sean Chevalier. He was just like, like, you can swim, you can run, and then that's how I got there. And the same thing with triathlons. I was like, I found pool triathlons. I was happy because I was like, I can see the bottom of the water. I know what's in there. I was never doing an open water try, and then 2 years later, I'm out in the Choptank River, just swimming my life away. Like, this is not too bad. And yeah, and then of course, like, yeah, I'll do the half. I don't want to do a full. No way. And then I did a full. So I'm like, I'm gonna stop telling myself I'm not gonna do something because I end up doing it.
That's how it always is. It's like you said, oh, I'm just going to get this last set, or this is my last race. I'm done for the rest of the year, and then I'm over here signing up for, more events just before the year is out. Like, you know what? I'll go out with a bang.
Yeah.
That I think that's what we all say.
hmm
Especially when we start. We're like, I'll just do this once. I'll just run this one marathon. I didn't think I would be running. Like I think I would. I think I might sign up for a half marathon. Why? Because for me, I like the challenge, and running is not my strong point. So I'm a cyclist. So I'm pushing myself out there, and to do something that's really hard and finish it, that accomplishment. So that's what keeps me going. Like, okay, I did this one hard thing. What about this next one? What about this next one? Okay, I'm keep pushing myself to do difficult things.
Yeah, yeah, and it's kind of like it's like I said, I think the past few years I've had, like I said, I have, so my dad passed last year, but I've had senior parents, and being an only child and having senior parents, it's like it's a tough thing, and I don't like burdening people with stuff that's going on. So I know I have friends and family, church members that want to be there, but I still don't feel like I want to burden them with it. So getting into like the half Ironmans, and definitely this year with the full-time job of training for Ironman, I was able to, I say like along with therapy, kind of like safely release some of the things that I was feeling because, if you feel a certain type of way, by the time you're 40 miles into a century bike ride, you forgot all about what you're mad about. And you're like, I got 60 more miles to go. I'm not going to get through this joint, right? So that's why, like, it definitely came in at a good time to kind of serve as a healthy way to get through some of the things that I was, dealing with, with my parents and everything like that. So that's definitely been the thing that keeps me going as well.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. It's therapeutic to be it's like you said, especially doing an Ironman, a full Ironman, or even just a marathon. You have a lot of time to think and to like you said, release. Like this is you're on a bike for 100 miles. It's like you said. How many are you having with yourself? You know what I'm saying?
First century, I was like, oh my God, why am I still out here? Like, what is going on?
you, have you have a lot of time, a lot of conversations.
Oh, because it's like, like I don't want to have any music on because when I got to these races, they don't, allow you to have music. So I don't want to train myself to listen to music. I did this trail in Northern Virginia, the W&OD trail, and you get to a point where it's just you in the woods, and it's just like the amount of thoughts and stuff. I thought I need to write down all the quotables that I thought about when I'm out there by myself. But it's like good grief. And you like the weird thing is you might get kind of tired and you want to stop, but you don't want to stop because if you stop, you go, that's a wrap. That's it. I'm done. I'm not getting back on this bike. That is done. But it was a good time. I mean, somewhat of a good time. As you consider riding 100 miles on a bike. But it was it was cool to see where I could push myself too, because it's like honestly, like I got the merchandise, I got the tattoo, I got everything else, but it's still hard for me to believe that I did a full Ironman.
So, how long did you train for that? Did you have a coach? What did your like? What would a typical week look like
Okay, yeah, I
for?
did. I trained for it was about 9 months, so I started in January. I did have a coach, Coach Ariel. He is like a world superhero in the world of triathlons and marathons and stuff like that. Like I know he did like Chicago Marathon. I don't know if it was like a training run or just a casual marathon. He did it like in 2 hours and 44 minutes. So he's out there just like we. So, but he was a good coach, and where he kind of met me where I was, like what I was trying to do, I was trying to get into, and took an account of building me up to the point where I could complete it successfully and upright. So it's like before it would start with like I would have like days where try to get in like 3 swims, 3 bikes, and 2 runs, and it would sort of switch like every week depending on what the focus needed to be. So in the beginning, it wasn't just like all out, so I wasn't burned out right away. But it was like we'll start out like it's sort of kind of like what I'm doing now. It's like I might do like a 2,500 to 3,000 meter swim, hour and a half, 2 hour, maybe 2.5, 3 hour bike ride, and then various runs, hour and a half, 45 minutes, whatever it is like that in the beginning. And then every week, let's say it might switch or focus, but as you got closer, the distances and the hours and everything would, like eventually go up. So it was kind of like you didn't get burned out, but you felt like you were building foundation to get to the point of where, like, I think like in August, my eyes went wide when I see, okay, we have 4.5, 5, 6, 6.5 hours, 7 hour bike rides to just get yourself used to being out there that long because you never know what could happen. Things like that used to be being in the saddle, for that longer time. Or swimming was just like endurance. Like I said, I was born a swimmer, so the swimming was just more, let's get my faster pace, abilities able to do for a longer period of time in an open water. And bike is like, I know the bike is my weakness. I'm like, of course, the biggest part of triathlon is my weakness right now, but getting myself used to being there so that I can add on top of it, and the same things with the run. So it was like, even on like my days off, there's still a full day of work. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm still doing like a 5.5, 6.5 hour bike ride and things like that. So it was just like, it was a grind and a blur. Like it was like, like it was like, I don't know what happened. Like, like after 9 months I did the race, I was like, where did the year go? I have no idea what happened.
Oh my gosh. That I can't even imagine doing a marathon at this point. I can't imagine doing a half Ironman. I can't imagine doing I it's just and full Ironman. So you did a full marathon, then you had to bike for 100 miles.
Yeah, the 2.4 mile swim, the 112-mile bike ride, and then the marathon at the tail end of it. Yeah, and I was telling people looked at me like I was crazy because I was like telling my whole story of it. I'm thankful, for myself and my ability to being a strong swimmer, because I think I said I got stung about at least 10 to 20 times, by jellyfish. And it was just like, I knew I wasn't allergic because I gotten tagged before. But after a while, it was just like, you did the first like 1.2 mile loop, and you're like, gotta do this gauntlet again. Cause not like the jellyfish are like, you know what, we stung you, we're good, we're gonna move on. No, they're all in the same box, like getting like tore up, lit up, and then like I said, like any open water triathlete will let you know that you are getting full on assaulted out there. It's not like baby taps. Like people are trying to swim over you, kick you, and just like
I heard.
yeah, it is a contact sport. I said that, what I mean? I never knew that open water or swimming itself would be a contact sport, but it was. So it was a journey. Then I said like, my tires were low on the bike, and it was like I was like, it's one place I don't need to lose time was the bike. Pulled over. Luckily, somebody was going to go try to give me a pump and help me out, and to get me quicker. But the Ironman support crew came around 2 seconds later and were able to get me up and keep going. And then I didn't see a word about rain in the forecast, but all of a sudden it was like, I was like, oh, this is terrible. And it wasn't necessarily about riding in the rain. It's just like, it was my glasses. And I was like, I couldn't, it was like just all blocked
Yeah.
up. I couldn't see jack. But then, and then telling people, oh, yeah, I did that, do the marathon at the end. And I said, I know for my first one, I said, I know I have some places to work on, but I saw the sunrise and sunset in the same race. So that was an ordeal. And then I'm telling people, hey, are you going to do another one? The week after was like, no. Now it's like, you know what? So the answer is yes, I am going to do another one. But it was just like that. Like I have to tell them a story. I did not have anybody convinced that this was a good idea at all. But I'm like, it's just like it was a wild, wild time. And people were like, oh, I would have been done after the jellyfish. I was like,
That would
one,
have.
I spent way too much money registering for this race, and two, I spent way too much money at the expo. That's the way that I check myself with these races. Buy the gear and say, you know what? Too much. That's a little extra push. Let's go. Let's earn what
Yeah.
you got. Yeah.
Do you what Ironman or would you travel someplace? Like I know they do them all over the world, so would you like your next Ironman, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go to France and do one. What like do you have already one picked out?
Yes. No. I am going to think about doing. I think about doing Florida. I was going to do California, but it's a schedule conflict. But I said I am going to do Florida. I know I did stay around Maryland for a while because I was like, just it's close to home. There were a few good races, and then it was just like, I wanted to feel like I was somewhat into the world of, the half Ironmans, Ironmans. It's something that I wanted to, stick to because it's not like it's a commitment, and you have to be really committed to this in order to say, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna add the travel on,
Right.
on top of it. But so now I say, you know what, I think I'm kind of in the door a little bit here. Let's now we can expand a little bit and see what we can do. Like I said, I've had a couple of friends. I had a few friends that did Ironman Spain a few weeks ago. I think last year I had a few friends do. I think it was in Dubai. One in Dubai, so it's very interesting to do. Like I said, I want to feel like I'm a little bit more confident in my abilities and then travel because I don't want to go somewhere internationally and embarrass myself.
Listen, I don't think you'll embarrass yourself. You are out there already. That's the half the battle. You went all that way, got out there. So okay. So you got your next one picked out next year or the year
Yeah,
after?
yeah,
Next
next
year.
year. Yeah, I said let's keep rolling. I don't know if I can take a year off and then be like, you know what, let's get back into it because it's a hard thing to do. But I said I wanted to pace it out and give myself enough time to not get burned out by the sport. And that's why I said, like, if you're starting to become a serious endurance athlete, I recommend like having a coach because having the right coach will definitely help you out with that stuff, help you not to burn yourself out and things like that. And having a coach is not just like you got to do this and this and this and this, but having a coach that actually listens to you, understands your goals, and wants to help you get there. So those are like some really really important things. And so I knew as soon as I got into this world, I'm like, I need a coach because it's not something to, like I said, to play with or to take, like to take lightly. You want to learn the correct way to do it so you're not hating it by the end of the day.
Right, right. Or injuring yourself.
Hmm.
Once I fully learn how to swim, I'm diving into the Ironman world.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, it was funny. It's like, I see all these, I said, I definitely still had to give my dad the credit for this, but like, I've felt like every like triathlon video or meme or whatever I see, it's always about swimming is the worst part. And I'm like, swimming's the best part for me. I'm like, let's go. You know what I mean? But it's like, I'm thankful that I did learn at a young age, like if anybody, like ask me for tips or anything like that, like I can, I definitely will do it. But it was just like, it was swimming's the more relaxing part, for part for me. So now it's like, now that I know that I can do the other stuff, it's tuning it up. But yeah, like I know that if I thankful for the swimming because I think the swimming gave myself a 40-minute buffer for Ironman because like I finished like 40, I think like 35, 40 minutes before the swim cut off. What? So I'm like, I know the other stuff is important, but at the same time, I know that thinking through where can I buy myself the most time, and I can chop off more to swim, and that gives me a little bit more time for the rest because I know those are my weaknesses, but I'm still going to work on the weaknesses and everything like that.
Right, right, right. Do you have this time around? Do you have a goal time?
I'm working on it now. That's actually one of the things my coach challenged me was yesterday. All right, what do you want your goal time to be, and where do you want, you know, like each discipline, like where do you want it to be? So I'm trying to, think of where I know cycling is still sort of, I'll say, relatively new to me to be able to get a pulse of where I need to be. Like I know that Like I have a road bike right now. I'm looking at a tri bike. So I'm looking to see where can I be and improve the speed there. Swimming, I have my masters swim team, like swim meet speed and like my triathlon speed. And I think, they can be closer together. So I just gotta learn how to put those together and not gas myself out for the rest of the race. And the run, it's like I know that I think for the marathon, I know I want to be closer realistically, say between like 4.5 to 5.5, like realistically for the marathon. And then for the for the cycling, probably say between 6 and 7 hours. And for the swim, like I did the Ironman, the 2.4 miles, something an hour and 23. I can probably be between 110 and 115 if I put my mind to it. So it's just like, chopping a little bit to make it,
Yeah.
less of an all day excursion. It still might be like majority of the day, but I'm not out there as long as it was.
Man, when you posted, I was like, you did it. You did it. Go ahead. I saw the photos and I'm like, with any event, I'm always like, I'm gonna wear my medal for the whole week. I would still be wearing my medal. I'll be wearing my medal for the whole year. Like, you see what I did? Like, Iron Man, Iron Man, Iron Man, Iron Man. Like, everybody would know. And I know you've like posted memes about like, um, about telling people that you did an Iron
Yeah,
Man. Definitely would. I'd have. Shit.
I have
And you
all
said
the I have all
tattoo?
the stuff. Yeah, huh?
You said you got the tattoo as well?
Yeah, I did. Yep, and it was like it the I wanted something special. If for some reason I saw somewhere where somebody had the Maryland flag, like the Iron Man logo and the Maryland flag on it, because if you heard anything about people from Maryland, we are in love with our flag, and we just say like Maryland is a cult. But it was like I did my first half and full Ironman in Maryland, so let's make sure that I wanted to do that, and I found a guy who one of my friends is a marathoner actually recommended. Now they gave me a recommendation for this guy who does it, and it shows up on our skin tone. Color shows up on our skin tone well, so he did it, and it was like a really dope idea, and I got it done. But yeah, I have it. Make sure I flex it at every race. I say I'm being in shorts all winter. I don't care if it's 30 degrees outside. You're going to catch this tat, and have all the gear, have all the stuff. But yeah, it's. I finally got to get rid of the wristband, the original wristband, because it was getting kind of frayed. But they gave us like every time we passed one of the loops of the marathon course, they gave us like these red, black, and gold Maryland for the like every lap. So I just say I'll put one of those on right now. But yeah, I have all the gear. I have all the hoodies. Found out they got pajamas now. I'm like, you know what? This is all Iron Man everywhere.
Yes, that is right. I would. I did the Berlin inline skate marathon and I kept the bracelet on for the longest time. Just because yep, yep, I did.
Yeah,
Yep, I
you
did.
can.
Yep,
Yeah. So you
yep.
so you skated the 26.2?
Yeah.
God, God, kudos to you, because I mean, I know it's like, it's training and everything like that, but I went skating a couple years ago again. It was like 3 laps around that rink. I was like, I'm gassed. Take me out. I'm done.
Oh yeah. I really do enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot and I'm like yourself. I'm looking at races now like, all right, what am I going to do? Okay, what marathon, what race, what event am I going to do this coming year? So I'm already eyeing it. I'm like, should I go back to Berlin? Should I go to Minnesota? Where should I go? Where should I go? So I'm doing that now. But other than Ironman, you are doing a lot of. Are you doing a marathon this coming? Was it week or next week or is it a half?
Oh, this week it's like I'm doing what am I doing? Chesapeake Bay Bridge Run. It's a 10K, and it's like it's over like everybody. I know a lot of people who are terrified of that bridge, but me, I'm like, yeah, I was like, whatever. But it's I realized like literally I am doing the entire span of my racing career in a year. I had lost a bit of confidence in my running. I don't know, I sort of hit a running wall, and I was just like, I didn't have a desire to run over a certain pace or anything like that anymore. So I said, let me start doing some things to build my confidence back up into running. Because I was a decent runner, and like I have some friends who look at like I said, everything about perspective, where it's like oh, you're a fast runner. I'm like, I am not. I am not a fast runner. I look at like people I know who constantly like 21 to 23 5Ks, doing like 40 something minute or whatever, 10Ks and like, hour 45 halves. Like people who I know that are fast. I'm like, I used to be a relatively solid runner. I'll say that. So 5K, then I have a 10K this weekend, and then the next race after that would be the half in Miami. So it's like literally going up, making sure that I give myself the necessary confidence to when I gotta tack it in on the tail end again, I'll be good to go.
Okay. And when do you start training for your next Ironman?
I'm sort of in maintenance mode right now, so it's just kind of like let's see what we can do, and then probably at the beginning of the year, it'll probably kick in. I think Ironman Florida is in November, so it might be like around March to April where it really starts to ramp up. But right now, we're just trying to build foundations and keep myself going there.
What's up? Uh, how did you feel on doing the Ironman? Like what were you eating? What were you drinking?
Anything and everything that was there. It
Okay.
was like like now I had my own my own bits of nutrition. I had like nutrition bars. I remember I seen something where somebody had like the nerds like gummy clusters. They were like a little pick me up, but I had like the what are they, Uncrustables? Uncrustables? Yeah. Like I had an Uncrustable for it. I had this company Never Second. They had their bars to eat. They had the Never Second gels. And then on the Iron Man, of course, they're really good at giving you like they have like oranges, bananas, pretzels, chips, This is the first time I realized that people can like drink Coke during the race. I used to always like water, Gatorade, or I think Iron Man uses Mortal now. That stuff like that. But no, it's like that Coke was hit. Like during the race, I was like, this combination of stuff that I would never, eat or drink in a random thing, but it was like, like orange, banana, pretzels, and a Coke. Like, you never think those four items would go together. But it was pretty solid. Like I said, I had my own water and hydration. They had the stuff on the course, as well. So it's like I'm always reinventing what I can eat, but that's kind of what I did for this go round. My thoughts were just like I would do it by thirds, you know what I mean? And say, here's the swim. Well, 112 miles. Here we go. And then it was just like, I think during the first round, I tried to do it in the two chunks. Like, okay, here's the first 56. And then, we have the next, 56. Um, the sort of thing, everybody is like the top elite people are like, I'm getting ready to start my second loop and they're done. They're like peeling off to the second half. I'm like, I can't worry about that. I got to do my thing, right? Yeah. So, I kept going and then it was just like, I got to mile 60 and you're like, oh my God, I still got what left? You're like, okay, I'm moving. Next. Yeah, like about 70, still got like 42 to go. You try not to think about the distance, but you're like, this is, this is a lot. And then after it, it's actually a picture of me on the bike and my face. I think I'm heading toward the end, and my face is literally like, I got to do a whole marathon after this. Like usually there's one smile in my race. No, I look like I was going through it the entire race, like me getting out the water because I got beat up off the bike. I do a marathon, and yeah, it was just like, okay, let's do it. Let's do the loops. Let's get it done. And then when the sun went down, I know, like like in some probably some small, like Eastern Shore or country towns, you don't want a lot of light pollution. So, some of the streets they had the little construction site lights, whatever. That was some, but other than that, like I couldn't literally see like a half a foot
Mm,
in front of me, so it was just pitch black and like like you couldn't see anything. And like some people had the headlamps on, but I was like, I already had enough stuff. I didn't feel like putting the headlamp on, but next time I should have. But it was just like I'm really out here for a long time. So then it just started to go through the loops and everything like that. And then like when I realized that I was going to make the cutoff, that's when things were like, let's just keep going. You're going to make the cutoff. It's going to go. That's here. Ready to hear those words. Akeem Harris, you are an Iron Man. Everything like that. Like I said, there were some people cheering for me. Like, so a lady from I work at Orange Theory. Somebody was like, "Yo, Akeem, Orange Theory." I was so delirious. I didn't know who it was. I was just like, "Hey." I was like, I didn't know what was going on. I was just like, "Get me home." And then, I heard the thing like, Akeem, you are an Iron Man. I'm like, it was a great feeling. But so like, in that moment, I salute everybody who does the real cheering and jumping up and down. I felt
right.
the way emotionally, but physically that was not going to happen. I wanted my car in the bed. Like that's the only thing that I wanted. Like, like let's wrap it up. Give me the thing. Is my medal. I get another medal with my finish fatigue. Got to take this mile back, walk to the transition, get my bike. Let's go. So that's the way that I was like. I was just like, I want to go home, and then randomly during the week, it was like, oh snap, I did an Ironman, and then like it's just it's still amazing to think during it. It was just like it was about survival, but it was a pretty cool thing to say that I did.
That's an amazing thing that you you say that you did. Like that is
Everybody teases me because I make it seem like it was just like I walked to my car. It's not of like a thing of where like I feel like yeah I'm the big man on campus. I had this habit of doing things like that. Like, I think I sometimes I'm a little too humble or too like calm with the things that I do. And I said I realized that, not everybody has the ability to. I know that not everybody has a desire to or anything like that. I definitely understand that. But for me, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I did it, yeah. And people are like you did all that and like in one day, you were out there for that long. Like seeing people's faces drop and like it's kind of like it's a cool thing to see and do and everything like that. So I truly am trying to embrace it.
yeah. No, I'm sort of like that too, where I'm like, yeah, I did this thing, but now I'm like just thinking about it like, yo, you're doing some really cool things and I should celebrate that more, right? I should not in a braggadocious way, but it's just like, yeah,
Yeah.
I did that. I put myself through this thing. I did that. Oh yeah, you gonna see these medals on Medal Monday. You're gonna, yeah, because I'm proud of this thing that I did, that I accomplished, that I set out and said I was going to do. I trained for it. I suffered a little bit for it, and this is the reward. Like I did it,
Hmm.
and you know, congratulations again. Because I told you on Facebook, but it's like, yeah, I think like yeah, yo, I did an Ironman. Fuck that, I did. Yeah, see this tattoo, see these shirts, see these stickers on my car. Like I did that.
Yeah, that's it's funny now that I'll go to these but I've gone to packet pickup. I've had my Iron Man shirt on just to be like, look what I did. Like that's that's like the minor thing that I'll do. Like I'll do it subtly, you know what I mean? It's just like watch people read my face like, oh, the shirt like, oh. So it's like it's really weird because like I don't know. Let's say on the flip side of that, like I would ask friends, "Hey, do you want to run with me? Do you want to come out?" They're like, "You did an Ironman." I don't. I'm like, I'm not doing it every day. I'm not going to be like, "Hey, let's go 146, 140.6 miles. Let's get a run in." I just want to get out and run. I ain't so worried about it. Like I know, like I'm proud of it. I'm not going to be like, yeah. So you got to run a marathon with me. Just come out. I'm cool. I did it. I'll have some fun, but I'm not one of those people who's like, you know, I did an Ironman. You only done the 5K. Get away from me. No, because like that's a big deal to you. Like I have a friend and she's really, coming up the ranks. She'll show me her pace, her pace increases. Cause I know like right now she's like a run walker. I think she wants to get below a 15 minute pace. I'm like, do what you have to do. Whatever you need, keep pushing. I'm proud that you're sending me like the things, everything like that. And it's funny, like, I'm always playful and I always tease you because that's just a part of my personality. So when she'll be like, "Oh, I did, like 2 miles and I'm tired," I'm like, I do that Kobe Bryant meme, soft, just to make, just to, just, just a joke. But I don't mean it at all. But it's just like, keep pushing yourself and keep doing it because, like I said, I still have no clue of how I got to this point. Like I've done all the steps, I've done all the stuff, but I still remember when I was like a 5K took me out for the day. You couldn't get me to run a half a block, and I was just like, I'm not doing any of this. And I'm like, nobody says that you have to do a full marathon, you have to do a half, you have to do anything. Just like if you're getting out there doing something to improve yourself,
Right.
it's cool. Have fun. Let's rock and roll. You don't have to be as crazy as me, but it's a good time out here.
And that's good. And you are an inspiration, to your friends, your family, people on social media that you're a regular person, right? You are I'm a regular person and we are doing these things. So I always say to my friends and family, like, if I can do it, you can do it. Like there's nothing special about me. Like we could you go at your own pace
Hmm.
because I'm not the fastest, nothing. But I am going to get out there and just go for it. So when I see people that I know or even people that I follow on social media do something, I'm like, all right, you know, they did that. I can do that. That inspires me. And I'm like, I'm rooting them on, but I'm like, okay, I can do that. I know I can do that. So it's just inspiring to see that you've done that and all my friends who have done anything, right? Anything. I'm like, okay, all right, I can do that. Because you're proving to me that you can do it.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can do it too, Tasia. Uh yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, and it's so weird, like to me when people say like I'm an inspiration because I'm like I don't know what I do, and that's like the weirdest thing in the world. I'm like, oh, thank you, like I'm very appreciative of it, but I'm like, I'm not one of those athletes. Like I am not a role model. I'm not, I'm not to that point of saying like that. I'm just like, okay, because I look at like there's some other people like that's inspirational, but I realize that like somebody who's like looking at like the elites who do like the marathon, the Ironman stuff like that, where they're like, they're 4 Ironman times the time in my half, and some people look at that and that's inspirational. It's like I think that's the only level of inspirational that's out there when it's like it's not. And it's like, yeah, I'm just like, like being like a cool person. I still have all the jokes and stuff. Like, if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, it's like, it's going to be jokes. It's going to be mean. I'm going to still be the same person. And I'm starting to see that that's a thing too. Like, no matter what I've done, what I've accomplished, I'm still going to be like the same person. I'm still going to have the jokes. I'm going to still be able to take jokes and everything like that. So it's just like, it's a weird, it's still a weird thing to hear me being an inspiration. But like I said, if there's anything that I can do to help out or give advice with, I'm definitely here for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're inspiration to me. Like I said, I anybody that does anything, you don't have to be the fastest, the anything. If you got out there and ran a marathon, I don't care if you finished last, you ran it. This thing, it's just like, all right, I'm gonna do that. I can do that. You know.
Now I look at you, you be having the lavish skate and the bike videos. I'm like, look at that. Like, what I mean? Like, you be inspiring me. I'm like, I need to go ahead and get my own Hollywood production company while I'm out here in these streets. I'd be like, oh, snap. Oh, I got my little selfie and that's it. Like, you got a whole production crew coming behind. I'm like, all right.
Man. So before we wrap up about the endurance, any advice that you have for anyone that's wanting to get into this space? I know you mentioned getting a coach. Is there a community? I know I'm a part of the Black Triathlon Athletes, I think on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recommend joining a community? What advice?
Definitely do. Like, there are a lot of people out there that are, I said, like-minded and in the same spots that you are. Don't think that, like, like with Black Triathlete Association, yeah, you have people who are like, Kona's, or like the worlds for Ironman. You have people there too, but you have people who just did their first sprint triathlon, who are trying to get into the sport, trying to new things out, trying to get in there. It's definitely good to have a community, of it, and to pull inspiration, from other people. Like I said, not everybody has the same journey, not everybody has the same goals, but so find your crew, find your squad, and you'll definitely be there. Because I know, like with me, it's like, yeah, I know I have people in my crew who are like I said, doing worlds and doing all these big things. I have people who are just starting out. I have one of my frat brothers, and I'm slowly trying to drag him into the world of triathlon. Hurry up, sir! Like, but it's like there's a lot of people that are there for you, and like you said, don't be afraid of opening up because you know there might be one bad apple in the group. It's like with any groups, what I mean, you'll see that, but find your crew, find your village, and you'll be okay. I said once you get to the point where it's like you want to coach, you can, but until like say if you don't want to coach right away, reach out to people around you. There are more than enough people who would want to help you, give you some advice, get you some things to do to get you into the sport and staying in there right away, not just jumping full in and then you're like burning yourself out. But the advice is like find your own niche, find your own way. Yeah, you can observe other people and what they do, but at the end of the day, it's like I said, your race, your pace. Find what you want to do, and people will support you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good advice. That's good advice. Yeah, especially like you said, the community, people that have done it. So you can just ask them, hey, what gear should I get? What if this happens? What if this? They probably been through it or know what to tell you to get and recommend. So definitely having a community. And when you're feeling down and out and you're like, I can't do this anymore, there'll be somebody to be like, yes, you can.
Yeah,
You can.
my coach. I say this. My coach gave me the best advice. It's like, um, let them take you off the course. Don't take yourself off the course. And I said that was probably the one thing, even in my pure delirium of like, am I even walking straight anymore? That I can remember was do that. Like you keep going. If somebody else taps you on the shoulder like that, senses me going clock out for me, that's fine. But don't, take yourself out. You're stronger mentally or, and physically than you think you are.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. So, switching gears, Legos.
Yes, indeed.
Were you a Lego builder when you were a kid and you just kept building Legos until you got to an adult? Or did you start building Legos, you know?
Apparently, when I was a kid, I could not stand Lego. I did not like them at all. I did not like building them. I did not have the patience to build them until until I think it was like after the Chicago Marathon. Like I have a habit of not being able to sit down straight, clearly, because I'm already sit down for a while. So I was like, here's a Lego set. So I built it, like I said, started the Speed Champion set, and then I built a couple of them, and then I was like, what's the next logical step up? And that's how I ended up, going to where I am now.
Okay. So, building Legos as an adult. Do your friends know that you build Legos? Is this something that you kept to yourself and then you're like, "Hey, I built Legos." Did you get any from your friends or family like, "Why are you building Legos?" Did
Absolutely.
they?
Absolutely. Because people are like, I thought Lego was for kids. And I'm like, then I was like, I start showing them like literally the complexities of, some of the sets and what you can actually do. And people are like, oh, that's Lego. I'm like, yeah. And it's like, like I finally got into some of the ones that are, that you can add a motor to and things like that. And, they're working because before I'd be upset if I spent like 3 hours building a set and then all of a sudden one of the gears didn't work because that's like devastating having to try to go through and tear down to build back up. But it's been a journey, and now people actually look forward to it. They know I do it. They'll send me stuff. I'll get a whole bunch of, hey, did you know the set is coming out? And I'm just kind of like, I can't right now. I'm like I literally I've done Lewis Hamilton's one of his the black F1 car. I have his Ferrari, and I looked at another set I've literally had for like a year that I haven't touched yet. I was just like, okay, yeah. That's why I'm like, yeah, I got to slow down. But it's a definite thing, and people look forward to the sets and seeing how they actually come together. And I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna talk and walk and see if I can not knock over everything. Did I unplug the right thing? I did not. All right, now unplugged the right thing. All right, so I'm gonna try to move spots here. I am walking because like I have all my stuff in like two different sides of the room.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So like I have some of the sets over here. I'll pull my chair up.
Wow. I like that Jeep.
Yeah, I ended up like I was like I picked some of like my favorite cars and my things to do. So like I have the G Wagon. I have a Land Rover down here. I have like the McLaren F1. No, it's the Mercedes. I have the helicopter, the Porsche Ferrari, and things like that. So it's like I'm having fun with being able to do all the complicated sets. And that's the Lamborghini was my first big set. It was like a 3,000 piece set, and I have like 3 of the 4 supercars that came with the Technics, but they when they retired, it's like whoever knew there was a black market for Lego sets, but they'll or like resell because now they'll want like $1,000 for a set that retired like 5 years ago, and I'm like, no, 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 I'm not. I don't think I'm going to go that much for a Lego set. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I like them displayed. I like them. I I just build like I don't have a theme, really. So I think if I started building cars, I'm not car person, but if I started building cars, then I think it'd just go from there. Like I don't know if I want to start something like that because they look really nice displayed. One, I have no place to put them.
Yeah.
Two, it's like the money. Let's be honest here. These sets are not cheap.
At all.
You know,
At all.
um, they do have a really good rewards program, but I'm spending all this money. Like I said earlier, I purchased um the motorized lighthouse. And I think that I don't know how many pieces it has, but it's $300. I use my rewards points,
Yeah.
and that took the taxes, right? So I'm like, hmm,
I had a friend who bought the I don't want to get jumped by community. What was it? Was it Star Wars? Was it Star Wars or Star Trek set? I'm drawing a blank on it, but I know it was like $800. And it was just like, and then and I know like inflation caught everything because it was like some of these sets were not that expensive before, and they now they're everything like the I think every year and a half, every 2 years, Lego comes out with the supercar sets. Typically, they used to be like 300. Now they're I think like 450. So it was like, yeah, the last one was like it was a Ferrari that I liked, but every time I keep going back to the site, like I can't do it. It's fun, I like it and everything like that, but it's like it's
yeah,
hard for me to justify it. That and Ironman takes all my money now. So
right, right. So, right. Yes. So I just have a few things on my like wish list that I'm like, okay, cool, but I don't want to start a theme and go to the Lego store every, week. I don't because I'll just buy something because I want to build and I enjoy it. So, what what do you enjoy about building Legos?
it
Building these sets.
it's like it coincides kind of with like doing something like the Iron Man, where it's like you're starting from this really blank canvas where you'll get like a couple of pieces or 5 or 10 pieces together, and it looks like nothing. And then you keep working at it, you see it progress, you see it grow, and all of a sudden you're with like you're with a whole car or something like that, and say, "Wow, this is where I started, and this is where I ended." And it's sometimes where Lego isn't the greatest with their instruction manuals. Like I think for one of the Lamborghini, there's literally like 5 steps missing. So it was like you built the left headlight, right? And it was like literally like 35 pieces to go into the headlight. They forgot to put the instructions for the right side. So I was like, I have to do kind of like the backwards thing or like the reverse thing of what to do to make this work. And I was able to problem solve and then build it and I say, hey, this is something that I did. Or if I'm missing a piece and I don't feel like waiting the 18,000 months that it takes for Lego to send you the replacement piece, I can make it work and make it happen. So those things are pretty solid. And that's what I like about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely problem solving. You mentioned patience when you were talking about Iron Man and being out there for a long extended time. To me, that is patience. You have to step by step by step, and it's like it's it's kind of therapeutic. Sometimes I'll listen to music, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll just have the TV on the back playing. Sometimes it's just me zoning out with these Legos and thinking, right? Using my mind to think about, like you said, problem solving. Like, what did I do wrong? I have to take this whole thing apart. Do I feel like taking this whole thing apart? Do I want to give up right now? But then going back to the endurance is like, no, just keep going, figure it out. You come this far, you cannot stop.
Right? Like, nope, I'm here. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm not. It's done. We got to keep going. We got
I
to
think
keep pushing. Yeah.
gotta keep going. My Statue of Liberty here, which is one of my this right here is this is one of the sets where I messed up. Um and I know I messed up and I'm like, forget it. I don't care. This is just going to stay like this cuz I would have to take everything apart,
Hmm.
almost damn near everything apart and try to figure out where I messed up. And one day I just sat there. It had been months. It had been sitting on my desk for months and I said, "You know what? I'm gonna do it." And once I completed it and fixed it, I was so happy because it's like, wow, I did it. I did this. This is I huh, can't
Yeah,
tell
I
me
had the
nothing.
same thing where I don't know how I drop kicked my Infinity Gauntlet off the
Oh, no.
thing. So it's a few like pieces together. I said I had to get the mindset ready to get back to it because I was just mad, but there's a way to like like to get back and do it. And then it's like I said, I don't do just cars too, but I did the Ironman one as well.
Mm,
And tell me why it took me like 2 weeks to realize that, you know what, it'd be cool to take a picture of your Iron Man medal with the gauntlet that Iron Man wore. It just like being the light went off one day. I was like, oh, there you go. But yeah, it's that, and it's just like I like some of the other like the I forgot I think like these are Lego ideas like of have like putting it together to come up with like they're more realistic looking.
yes, yes, yes.
And yeah, and I'd say this is like the hopefully I don't come on, don't drive off the shelf there. All right, there we go. It came in two different variations, but I
Oh,
wanted to have both displayed. I brought two of them so I could have one way and the other. I
oh
was
my.
like, I don't want to switch it. I want to have both. So that's kind of like like what I did. So it's a fun thing in that I like about uh things like I think for a while, like I had an obsession, it's tucked in the corner there, but like the big tow trucks, like the tow trucks that tow tractor trailers and buses and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? They have a set. I'll build that, like or like the supercars, the F1 cars, like they like right here is like a tree house, and it was like it just looked like really cool, like a really cool place to hang out. And so like I'll get the sets, and the sets have to have like some sort of meaning or attachment to it. Because like I said, you're spending the money and you're devoting hours to a set. It got to be something that you like, or I'm just not gonna build it for the sake of building it.
Right. That's what I every set has a meaning. Like I like this. I have the Game Boy up here. I have the old Polaroid. I have the old radio. I like things like that. So I want to build it and have it displayed. I'm from New York. I want the Statue of Liberty.
I
I
did.
want certain things is like, "Oh, I want this." And I recently got the London phone booth. I thought that was so cool. When I went to London, I actually took a picture inside the phone booth. Let me get this. The lighthouse. My mom and I traveled New England and we saw lighthouses. So there's just things that like okay that like you said, I just don't want to get Star Wars. No, don't kill me, anybody. I'm not into Star Wars. So for me
Yeah,
to and spend that money, it doesn't make sense. Let me get something that means something to me that I like, and just not for the sake of just buying it to build it and spending
yeah,
money.
yeah. No, it wasn't Star Wars set. Now you said about yeah, but like my friend, like, I appreciate the fact that he bought that and he was able to have the patience to build it. But like I said, I just like I watch some of the Lego. I know they do it for content, but some of the people who build the Legos and stuff for content, like I wouldn't. It would show that I really wasn't into into that set. You know what I mean? It'd be like, I'm just doing this for the sake of content. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, I couldn't be that person.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So the free gift with purchase for the Genesis controller. I want the
Uh-huh.
Genesis controller. It means something to me because when I was a kid, I had Genesis. So I'm in the store just trying to get enough items to get this controller. And I did buy one thing, which I don't know why I bought it. It was one of like the botanical sets, and I was like, oh, let me get this. I built it. Didn't I wasn't feeling it at all, but I spent money, so let me build it. I needed room on my shelf for my other sets. I broke that thing down, gave it to one of my little cousins. I was like, because I did not want it in the first place, but I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wanted it so I could get the free gift with purchase. And I was like, never again,
No,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
wasted, I wasted time, money on a set that I didn't really want, and I broke it down anyway. I was too through. I looked at it, I was like, oh, this has to go. I need room. This one has to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I forgot it was one set. The one set I think I was mad about the most was I bought the Batmobile, and it was like the biggest one. It was the Lego Ideas, and the Lego Idea sets are really like sets of, I mean, they're like the old fashioned small Lego bricks, and 3,100 pieces, so 2,831, and they were all black pieces. So it got really monotonous, and like I was angry like halfway through it. Like I think I broke it down like as soon as I built it. Like I know I was like, I thought it was cool. I was in the Batman and everything like that, but I was like, no, I really have to be investing in it. And if it's a car, I'm typically going to go the Technic route, because the Technic route will show more. Like the Technic cars are more. Trying not to say technical.
Yeah, I know.
You know, they show more of. Forget it. They're more
Yes,
technical,
yes, yes.
and the idea sets are more like display pieces. They're both display pieces. With the Technic sets, they'll literally have like the Lamborghini has the V12 engine. You can see all the cylinders, you can see how it works, and has like a working like transmission and things like that. Those type of things are really really cool because it can really help you understand how the legit car works and everything like that. Like I'm all for the Porsche that I showed. Like yeah, it looks pretty, but it's like I like seeing like the gears and how that stuff works as well.
Yeah. No, I more detailed, I guess. Right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I could I can understand that. Yeah. I can definitely understand that. What would you as an adult, right? We talk to other adults and they're like, "Oh, Legos are for kids." What do you tell them? Like, "No, Legos not for kids. You should check it out. You should because once I started doing it and displaying at first I was a little not that anybody would make fun of me, but you just never know. Like, Jason, you building Legos? Yeah, I'm building Legos.
I get it. Like, oh, you childish. You and your big grown age. Why you acting so childish? I get it.
Why are you doing this? Like, you don't have anything better to do with your time, right? And so I was a little apprehensive about displaying. And here, again, how you inspired me because you was like, oh yeah, I post my Legos on this page. So it gave me the idea, like, okay, I should post my Legos on, one of my Instagram pages and just show people what I'm doing. And you never know, it makes inspire someone else to do this. Again, going back to the inspiration because when you see someone who looks like you, who's your friend, who's just an everyday person doing these things, it's like, oh, okay, yeah. I thought Legos were for kids, but actually, I know a few adults that do them, and sometimes people won't do stuff because of the maybe backlash they may get from their friends or family. I'm
Yeah,
still going to do stuff. Now, I may not post it because I don't want to hear somebody saying, "Why are you building Legos?" But I'm still going to build Legos, do these events, travel, do whatever, and but it's cool because a couple friends and have started building Legos, and even sending me things like you said, your friends like sending me things like, oh look, they building Legos too, and there's a whole community of people, adults and black adults that are building Legos. You know,
Yeah, it's like, it's a cool thing seeing some, like, some athletes and some other things like that just getting back into it. It's like, yeah, it's a cool thing, it's a cool hobby, and a lot of other people who are doing a lot of other things that are childish, or like, I see like people like worrying about other people's business on Facebook or social media and trying to do all this other stuff. I'm like, you talking about me? I'm doing a hobby that's cool and it's actually worth money, and and things like that. So
it's
this, like,
in your
let
mind.
me do my thing. I'm not bothering you.
Right, right. Yeah. So I guess your advice would be go ahead and do it.
Yeah, do your thing. There's always going to be people who talk, and there's always going to be people who say stuff. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what makes yourself happy. I think, like, like, for a while, it's like I used to like do things for a while because I thought it would make other people happy, like staying in a organization or staying in something for too long because I thought that it would make other people happy. And then I realized, you know what? I'm not really happy with this. It's breaking me down. And then it's like you start doing things for yourself, and then you feel better with it. Because for a while, I'm like, you know what? I don't care if people say something, like, about the Lego. Like, I know my big, well, I think it was 42 when it is, when we had snow. I took that Lego helicopter out in the snow and had a photo shoot in the snow. I was like, I am 40 tonight. Thing is going down. It's on my page, but it's like I was like, I don't care if I look crazy being a grown man because the pictures ended up coming out really nice and really cool and anything like that. I was like, I don't care. I am what I am. Like, I know, like I said, from like the memes and all the stuff I post, I'm like, I don't care. I might not look as whatever as anybody else, but this is who I am. I can't be anything else. You like it, you like it. Not, I can't. I don't know what to tell you.
That's right. That is a fact. And I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. But I'd like to thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
No,
And
absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you for bringing it up. I'm glad we can finally get our schedules together because life be life, man.
yeah, listen, it was meant to happen when it was meant to happen. So that's the first thing. And like I said, you are inspiration to me because of all the things that you're doing and you continue to do, from the endurance sports to the Lego building. You know, like I said, you inspire me to put my Legos on my page and just,
Yeah,
continue to keep building. Because you said, oh, you're not done yet. I'm like, I looked at the phone like, what are you talking about? You don't know me. I'm done.
I'm like, yeah, okay. Like,
I don't know how long. It probably was maybe a week had passed, and I'm like, look what I got.
yeah, that's what I said. It happens. It's like, Don't, like I said, it'll come down to a point of where you really don't have the space. So once you build it, you finish everything, then you can move it on. Like, I don't know where I'm gonna put a 2 foot Concord. I mean, like, I don't know. I guess it'll be like on the living room table as a conversation piece. You know what I mean? That's my table setting. And I was like,
Yep, right there. I was thinking the Titanic. I have no place for the Titanic.
oh yeah. I was like, oh, that was cool. Where's it gonna go? Sorry, wait, what are you gonna do? We like put it. I guess I could put it in my corner with my bike, but I'm like, that's not going to go anywhere. I don't know where all this stuff's going to go. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, the Eiffel Tower. Where am I gonna put that? It looks great, but where am I gonna put?
Yeah, I just like, yeah. If I, like, say, if I become a billionaire and I have a whole big, like, room to dedicate it, yeah, absolutely. But right now, it's like, yeah, I can't inundate my whole space with that.
Right. Yeah. Same here. I can't. So, but thank you again for being a guest
Thank
on my
you.
podcast. I look forward to continue to follow your journey with the Legos and the endurance sports. And
Same.
hopefully we could do an event together.
Absolutely. I'm with it.
Yeah, yeah. So you come to New York, or I come to Maryland, or we meet somewhere and do something together.
Now I'm with it because I've it sounds crazy. I've never been to New York to spend like any long amount of time. Like I've like been in New York for like 2 seconds, but that's it. But yeah, so absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of events out here, so you whatever you want. Besides swimming, I can't do nothing with the swimming. But we talk
No,
about running.
yeah, see, you get like those other people. Oh, you do an Ironman. I don't want to do anything with you. No, that's fine. Let me know something. I'll roll up there and do it.
No, I literally can't swim, so I can't do any swimming events.
All right, now I'll find something. I get up there.
Yeah, but running, cycling. Let's go. Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
All right.
All right.
This is the Rolling with Tay podcast. I'm your host, Tasia, aka Tay. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.